In this video, I'm going to go through 100 fire missions. I might win some, I might lose some, but either way, this video took a very long time to make, so please subscribe. Now, let's get into Fire 1. This was a huge sign of the problems I would face later, pun intended, because as you can see, I was there for a while, but I couldn't finish the fire because there was a giant sign, the billboard, in front of me. So I decided to just let the fire take me. Now, normally an intentional death would be dumb, but I actually never got the hospital gown back when the hospital update came out, so in a way I actually benefited from getting black lung. I also think it's worth mentioning that I already got around halfway through leveling up my equipment in previous videos, and this video is a continuation, so don't think I'm just cheating this challenge by leveling up a ton beforehand. We still have 99 more fires to fight. Fire 2 was very straightforward, as this was the marina, and it didn't have any annoying objects that I had to try and spray around. Fire 3 though, I had a near-death experience when I almost blacked out. I managed to pull through and get a check though. Fire 4 was at the boathouse store thing. Look, it was at this place and I put the fire out quick. Fire 5 was the first fire that made me question if I was going to finish all of these 100. Because it was at the newspaper press, and the fire took a while to finish, but I'm on a winning streak, so... Fire 6, of course I had to immediately break that streak and get black lung again. I should stop making that joke because it turns out black lung is what coal workers get, so I guess if we ever get a mining update I can make that joke. Fire 7 was a success at the RV park, but one thing I began to notice was that my fire truck wasn't fast enough, so missions like Fire 8 were a disaster. Fire 8 was at a ski resort, which I failed because I was a couple seconds too slow. Fire 9, I also began to notice how important the upgrades to the power of my fire hose was, as it took the whole day to put out one fire, and that needed to change. Fire 10 proved that it was going to be a long process to get there though, as I had an easy fire and I even got some upgrade money. But I spent it on the turnout gear, because what good is a powerful hose if you can't even stand in the fire for more than a couple seconds? Hopefully this would mean less unfortunate deaths in the future. Fire 11 was a large fire, but surprisingly fun, because this was the first time I put out a fire using only the fire hose that's on top of the truck. I wish I got more fires that were this easy. Fire 12. I don't like small fires. Like, I get it's easy, but honestly, I think level 3 is a sweet spot, where I can do multiple a day and it doesn't feel like it's too easy, and I get a decent amount of experience points. Fire 13. The fire was at the sawmill, and while at first it seemed fine, I quickly realized I was underprepared, and despite using both the hose on top and the handheld hose, I had to teleport away, marking my 4th fail. Fire 14. The game just insulted me, okay? It was at the sawmill again, but this time, it was like a baby fire. I can do more than that. Fire 15. I can't do more than that. I actually made it to the ski resort only to realize that I couldn't finish it, so I went up in flames. Fires 16 through 20 were interesting. I had back-to-back bank fires, which resulted in this lovely photo, which I immediately posted to Discord. Then I had a forest fire, which was easy, and an ARC fire. I didn't fail any of them, surprisingly. Fire 21, I noticed there was a fire hydrant at the sawmill, which allowed me to take out a large fire. This was also the start of my improvement. Now I would be able to be more aware of my surroundings, like on Fire 24, where I was able to take out a fire on the island because I remembered to look around for a fire hydrant. It might sound dumb, but those things are easy to miss. Fire 25 was at the racetrack, and I was happy because it marked the quarter point for this challenge. Fire 26 was the first time I fought a fire at the town hall, and it made me question why they don't have fires on the top floors, since we have an extra ladder on our truck. Fire 27 was a straightforward island fire, but Fire 28 was another fail, because it was in the campground, and I was forced to take the mini pumper. This meant that I didn't have very much water or hose strength, and I had to abandon it. Fire 29 was in the police station, which I did succeed in, but then for no reason at all, I got arrested. Fire 30 was another sawmill fire, which honestly, it makes sense they would have frequent fires. I was able to put it out using the hose on top and the handheld hose. Overall, it was pretty quick. Fire 31. I desperately did not want to do an island fire, especially not a level 4. But the next mission was also an island fire. You can see the moment where I think about resetting again, and then I say to myself, screw it, it's fine. But I wasn't going to go that easily, because I knew that I couldn't put a level 4 fire out with my mini pumper. And so, despite it not being allowed, I managed to force the big fire tank out of the fire station, and I made my way to the ferry, where I learned that the reason you're forced to take the mini pumper is that the fire truck won't fit on the ferry, not even backwards. So needless to say, I failed that mission. Fire 32 was a small RV fire, followed by Fire 33. Fire 33 was an island fire again, but this time it was manageable, and this is also the only time I remember using the turbo mode, and I didn't really notice a difference. I also found out you cannot kidnap somebody onto the ferry. Unfortunately, Fire 34 was at the clothing store, and again, it took the whole day to put out. Fire 35, there was a wildfire at the intersection, and because it was a large fire, and I had no pump, I ran out of water, marking my first fail because of drought in this challenge. Fire 36 was a wildfire, but it was easier to put out. Fire 37 occurred in the cafe, and while it wasn't hard, I do think it would be kind of cool if the barista gave us a gift like a donut, since there are some in the case and I've just been sitting there drooling over them for the last 5 updates. Fire 38 happened at the news press, and this time it did not take the whole day, but I also think the fire was smaller, so. Fire 39, I quickly saved the sawmill, and when I got back to the fire station, I saw that I had earned money to upgrade some stuff. As I looked at the potential upgrades that could help me finish these fires faster, I said screw it, I'm doing 100 days and I at least want to get paid. This definitely won't come back to haunt me. Fire 40 was at the marina, and it was the most stressful one so far, because I could not for the life of me find the last tiny bit of fire, and I was actually ready to give up. I didn't even find the last tiny bit of fire until I got in the fire truck to leave. Fire 41 I skipped because I didn't feel like driving out to the sawmill, but I'm still counting it as one of the fires since I got the failed message. Fire 42 was at the driving range, so while it was a small fire, I didn't mind going to it since the trip was short. Fire 43 was at the supermarket, and this was just far too hard of a fire. Remember that I spent my additional money on an increase in pay rather than anything functional. Fire 44 doesn't exist. Fire 45 was at the police station, and it was a very quick mission that was also in town, which is kind of uncommon, so I liked it. Fire 46 happened to also be a small fire, this time at the RV park. Fire 47 broke the streak of small fires though, as it was a huge ski resort fire, which I died in, but I won't show the death because it could scar the children. I actually just don't have the footage. Fire 48, I fought some fires with Cone Man, and so that video is either already out or it will be out very soon. Fire 49 was at the backpack store, and I genuinely forget this place exists. Fire 50 ended the halfway point of this challenge with a small fire at the driving range, so not too bad. Fire 51 and 52 happened to be really close to each other at the entrance of the golf course and the campgrounds respectively, but Fire 53 was a little further away, and it was also much more problematic because I eventually died to the fire. Fire 54 was luckily at the shipping store, so I didn't have to drive very far. But time wasn't on my side for very long, because Fire 55 took so long to put out that every time I went to refill my mini pumper, the fire I had put out had already come back. Fire 57 was the next interesting fire, and it was one of the rare occurrences where there was a fire at the museum. It was a small fire, but it was a nice change of scene from the usual locations. A few more fires later, and Fire 60 gave me more of the museum, which was nice, but I'm still waiting on the fire where the dinosaur we found needs to be saved from being engulfed in flames. Fire 61 did not include my wish of the museum being in flames, but it was a rather easy fire at the golf course. Fires 62 and 63 were back-to-back RV park fires, if you can believe it. But this easy streak ended with one of the most frustrating fires. Fire 68, was a fire on the highway by the town, and the billboard blocked some of the fire, which means that despite my best efforts, I couldn't find a way to put out all the fire. Fire 69 was one of the funniest ones in my opinion because it was at the spaghetti business, and I just didn't even know that was possible. Honestly, Spaghetti Man having no ventilation in his building is just one of many health codes he's breaking. The next few fires went like this. Fire 70 was another golf course fire, followed by 71, where the fire was partially behind a billboard on the highway. 72 was an easy fire at the auto shop. Fire 75 was at the podium at the dirt racetrack, marking 3/4 of the way through this challenge. If you're enjoying this video, then consider subscribing because I'm going to make a lot more videos about this update, especially about the bus, since I haven't covered that. Now out of these next 25 fires, I'm going to highlight the honorable mentions. Fire 76 was a fire at the dirt racetrack, and because I have died here before, I am happy I got another successful mission here. Fire 83 was a museum fire, and while I have never used the museum or go there, I do like the museum's design, so I'm glad I got an excuse to go there. Fire 90 was in the boat licensing center, and this is honorable because I despise the licensing person for calling the island ranger on me. Fire 92 was at the sawmill, which I also died at a lot, so I figured it was worth mentioning another successful mission. Fire 99 was a callback to one of the first fires I've ever had in town, which was at the clothing store. I don't think I managed to save it the first time, but this time I changed my fate. And now for Fire 100, I'm going to let my real-time voice take over. But I have $13 extra and everything is full. Everything is full. Everything is full. It's really funny because if they ever add anything, I'll just have a ton of money. I mean, 13 isn't that much, but it ain't bad. Do we full send it on level 4? I think we full send it on level 4. Now, I don't think it actually gives you a tip. I looked at all the tips. I don't think any of the tips say that you're supposed to do sweeping motions, but that just seems the most logical. And also, with fire extinguishers, you are supposed to do a sweeping motion. Maybe it's just because I'm doing a voiceover, so I feel like I have to talk more, but this feels like it's taking a lot longer than usual. Let's just go out here and wait. Honestly, I could fill up my water again. That might be a good idea. I think we have enough that we can just run this all the way over here, though. Then put this on this side. Run it back out here. Connect another one, and now we've used every pump. But we can actually get infinite water, so it's fine. And at the end of the day, if I have to, let go of the infinite water just to do something else, that's totally fine. My tank being full is enough because of the upgrades. If you're wondering why I always go into the fire, it's because I can spin around and I can get more done usually. I usually don't end up dying from it. I usually get the fire put out faster. For example, I'll do it again. So I go in here and I'm on fire, but then I just sweep around. And if I do that enough, I won't be on fire. See, I got really close to dying, actually. That was probably a bad idea, but usually I don't get that close to dying. Usually I'm fine. And it looks like the fire's out, actually, now. So I can just drop this, grab this guy's hand, drag him out. And then we can just grab this other person. Oh, there's 3 of them. Okay. I've never seen 3 people in this place. I've only ever seen myself in this place. And finally, we got it. I've been waiting so long. I'm going to actually back up my file because I don't want this to crash back up. All right. Look at that. You got 106 paychecks. That's crazy. I feel like that's wrong almost. That's not, I feel like that's less. You'll have to deposit them at the bank to get your money. I guess I'll do that tomorrow because I don't think the bank is open right now. That does not feel right. I feel like I've been scammed because I did 100 missions and I haven't collected it before, which means that's not right, actually. I can pretty much guarantee that number is not right. I'm confused now. Did I get scammed? This is way faster. Don't use the elevator. It's not worth it. Hopefully I'll have enough money to upgrade the bus routes, which isn't that much. It's 70 grand, and I think I only needed 40 because I already paid off like the first couple of bus routes, so we'll see. The deposit. Jesus, that's so many. Oh wow, did your grandma give you these? I earned them. Okay, Sid, I've gone ahead and deposited it. 88,309. Your balance is now 88,309. Thank you for coming in. Alright guys, so I'm going to go over the bus stuff in the next video, so make sure to subscribe, and if you want, check out these other fireman videos. I have a lot planned with this update. This update's huge, so you're going to want to subscribe. See you in the next one.